Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Instagram ads. And if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, probably you're pressing on the post and you're pressing the famous boost button from your phone. While that could get you results, you are far away from what you could achieve. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to go through the portal. Before you start watching the video, set up your Ads Manager account on Facebook, connect it to your Instagram page, and join me to find out what you're missing on. We're going to go through WhatsApp campaigns, detailed targeting, a lot of information that will help you reach your custom and target audience. Stay with me. All right, so once you have your Ads Manager open, we're going to hit on Create. And here it's important to understand the purpose of your campaign. Generating awareness. If you're a big brand and you just want people to see you, which I don't really do. Traffic, you want people to come into your website. You want to generate traffic to your website, and this is essential. Engagement. Now, this is for people who want to get a WhatsApp message, to get an Instagram direct message as a response, or to get a comment. It will target people that focus on engagement. Leads, if you want to generate leads, have people fill out a form and you call them back. That's a great option for some industries. Obviously, app install is for applications, and sales is for conversion. And this works very well for websites that have a pixel installed on them. If you don't have a pixel yet, skip this option. We're gonna go with traffic. All right, so your first step is to give your campaign a name. I'm gonna call it Test YouTube. Here you can control the buying auction, which I don't recommend for beginners. Later on, honestly, this is not something I have touched many times. The juice starts with your ad set, and do give your ad set a name because we're going to create more than one ad set. So YouTube test ad set 1. Now we come to the brilliant part. You have 5 conversion options. Where do you want the people who see your advertisement to go? Whether it's a website, your application, Messenger, if you're a heavy user of Messenger, WhatsApp, which is a great tool, and calls. It all depends how your business converts. I personally like to get people to my website because they get to see what the business is about. Rarely does someone see an ad and want to call you right away. Of course, it depends on your business level and what exactly that you do sell, but in most of the cases, this is not needed. All right, now that we've selected the website, we have some optimization options. You can optimize for daily unique reach. You can optimize for people who land on the website. I like to optimize for clicks. Anybody who clicked on my ad is most probably interested, right? So link clicks it is. Cost per result, this is optional for the time being. Facebook will automatically select the best budget for you depending on your budget. With time, you will know what is the expected budget to set per link click. This is not something that you would do initially, but as you practice and do a lot of ads, this is something that you might choose. We're going to leave it empty for now. I go to the daily budget, and I always recommend to start with a minimum of $5 to $10. Now, obviously, your budget depends on what results you expect. Start with $10 and see where this takes you. Give the ad at least 1 week to run because it takes time for Facebook algorithm to understand the audience. So with time, there's a learning process that happens. You're not going to get the best results on the first day. Usually it's after the 3rd or 4th day that the ad really understands the audience that interacts with it. Now you want to set a time in the future. Set this for half an hour in the future because it's going to take you some time to prepare the ad. And I recommend always setting an end date because you might just forget this and keep your ad running for no reason. Audience, this is the most important part of today's video. Let's dig into it. Audience is the most important part of your campaign. If you understand your audience properly, if you know your audience, you're going to succeed in whatever campaign you're doing. Now, as you can see, I've moved myself to the left of the screen so I can show you this. It's very important that your audience is not too broad and not too specific. Remember, the more specific the audience is, the smaller it is, the more expensive you're going to pay per click. Now, that's not always a bad thing, but you want to keep it fair enough until you really understand what niche works for you. Obviously, you're going to select a country. For this example, I'm going to use Bahrain. It's very important to understand the age criteria for your product. And here we're doing a coffee. So I'm going to go for an audience starting with 24 because younger audiences can drink any coffee. I'm trying to sell a very unique coffee here, so not everybody will appreciate gender, whether it's a male or a female. In here, the most important stuff, the detailed targeting option. Now, you have two options. If you're starting new, you're gonna go with detailed targeting. This is where this excels over anything that you can do on mobile. You can go into demographics. Now, if you're doing this on Instagram, I find that demographics are not really accurate because Instagram pulls this data from Facebook, and a lot of people have their Facebook out of date. It's not really the thing. But when it comes to interest, this is very, very smart because here Instagram tracks your activity, and with time it starts to understand what keywords you look for, what kind of posts attract you, and so on. And the last and my favorite is behavior. A lot of these behaviors can be exceptionally successful. You have people who have an active business. You can target expats, people who live in a certain country but are not from this country. Now, I would recommend, depending purchase behavior, we can go to people who are engaged shoppers. You can choose mobile device. You can choose people who travel a lot. Now, I could go on and on all of these options. All of this depends on you and your product. I recommend you go through all of those. I wouldn't rely a lot on demographics, except for the basic ones. Interests and behaviors are quite popular. Now, the idea here is to try many campaigns with different targeting and find the ones that work for you and stick to them. That's why we're selecting $10 per campaign. Ideally, you want to start with 10, 15 campaigns and see what works. Marketing is trial and error. There are no rules. Anybody that tells you there's a rule is lying. Now, obviously, you can see here, I haven't selected any interest. So I'm going to go with frequent travelers because those people do appreciate coffee. Now, that's an assumption, right? That might be true. That might be not true. So we're left with 310,000 people. Now, my ad is going to be in Arabic language because people in Bahrain speak Arabic. Now, my crowd is smaller. So this is what I can expect. My ad will reach on a daily basis 3,000 to 8,000 people. I'll get 33 to 95 clicks. Now, if I want to reach more people and I'm still unsure of my targeting, I'm going to hit reach people beyond your targeting. And this will give you a broader audience. Now, this audience is too big in my case, so I'm going to skip it. But this is an option that I use a lot. Remember, this is a learning curve. With time, you will understand your audience very well. Now, this is the basic step. This is in case you're new, you don't have a lot of audiences, and you have never created an audience. But here, in creating a custom audience, is where all the power comes in. Stay with me. Now, I've been creating Instagram ads for the past 5, maybe 10 years, and the most success I have seen is from custom audiences. Custom audiences are so powerful, you don't want to ignore this. Now, you have a lot of options. You can choose your website. You can choose people who visited a certain page in your website. You can choose people who purchased from your website. You can upload your own customer list if you have a database of your customers. That's why we always say keep data that you can use later. You can use people who have viewed any of your videos up to a certain extent. For this video, I'm going to use the Instagram account as an example because it's quite a powerful tool in the business that I'm using as an example. All right, so you select the Instagram page that you want to be used as a source, and here you have several options. You can choose people who have engaged with the account, people who have visited the account, people who have engaged with a certain post or ad, people who have messaged your account, and my favorite, people who have saved a post or an ad. You know when you're scrolling through your Instagram and you see an ad and you think this is interesting, you hit the save button and you never get back to that ad, you never buy that product. You want to remind people that you are still there. So we're going to choose this option. We're going to go with 365 days. That's about a year. No matter how big your business is, this number is still going to be small. You want to give it a name and a description, preferably put the date in the description, and hit create audience. Now you have an audience. This audience can be used as it is, but it's usually too small. So what do? We create a lookalike audience. What Facebook, Instagram does is it creates people that are similar to the people we have targeted. So friends of people who have saved your posts are most probably within your target market. That's why we're going to use them. Now, the percentage here depends on how close of a targeting you want to be. I go for the maximum to get a decent audience size. In my case, it's 144,000 people, which is quite decent. And I hit create audience. Now I have my custom audience of people who have been to my Instagram page, who have saved the posts, and people similar to them. The only difficulty here is that the audience size is usually not available immediately. So right away, you're not going to see the results. You're going to need some time. You can either wait for this to load, or you can launch the campaign and come back later to see if this number is in the green zone. It's very important that the number is decent enough for you to target. Now, once you have a custom audience, we don't need this detailed targeting anymore, right? We don't need frequent travelers. We already selected the audience that we want. I'm going to leave everything else as it is and move to the final part. All right, we're almost there. Now we're going to select the placement. You can go with automatic placement. What is placement? It's actually where will my ad be shown. So if you're looking to do just Instagram ads, go with manual placement. Here you have the choices. You can do Facebook Audience Network, which is an extended network from Facebook. You can do Messenger, and you can do Instagram. For this purpose, we're just going to remove everything else except Instagram. We're going to keep only Instagram. Don't worry about all those errors that appear. We'll get to those once we reach our final part of the ad. Okay, I've selected Instagram. We're going to go with feed and stories. Remember, this is very important when you're making your creatives. We're going to go to the final part, which is the actual ad itself. All right, so we're in the final part of our video. We're at the ad level. So we had the campaign level, ad set, and now we have the ad. Now this is very straightforward. You select your Facebook page or Instagram account, and you upload or use an existing post from your Instagram account. That's completely up to you. You can upload an image, a video, whatever you think is more powerful for your product. I highly recommend videos, short, to the point. They do a great job. You add a text, you add your link, and in the future, I highly recommend you set up a pixel so you can track the progress of this. But this is completely a different video. For now, I want to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions about Instagram advertising, Facebook advertising, Google, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, hit those in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.